A 3-year clinical trial reports a 100% survival rate for women with aggressive hereditary breast cancer. Can a single protocol really change the odds?
Today is 2025, 5/24. Let's dive in. Cambridge researchers have shared results from a treatment protocol for breast cancer patients with BRCA1 and BRCA2 mutations, a 100% survival rate at 3 years after surgery. This came from the PARTNER trial, which ran across 23 NHS sites in the UK.
Exactly. What's crucial here is both the combination and the timing. They used olaparib, a targeted drug that disrupts a cancer cell's DNA repair, alongside standard chemotherapy. But it's not just about the drugs, it's about when they were given. Olaparib was started in a condensed 12-week course before surgery, with a 48-hour gap between treatments. Why such precise timing?
The thinking is that separating treatments by 48 hours lets both therapies work together, but without ramping up side effects. The timing seems to make chemotherapy and olaparib more effective as a team while keeping toxicity down. That's a real shift compared to the usual approach, where treatments often overlap for longer.
Historically, women with BRCA1 or BRCA2 mutations, think of Angelina Jolie, who famously chose preventive surgery, have had a tough outlook. Even after surgery, relapse risk is highest in the first 3 years. But in this trial, every patient survived that window. That's never happened before.
The standard until now has been chemotherapy, sometimes immunotherapy, to shrink tumors before surgery. But this protocol did better, at least for this high-risk group. Do we know the size of the study?
The PARTNER trial wasn't huge, but it was wide-reaching. 23 sites were involved. The exact number of patients is less important than the fact that it focused on inherited BRCA mutations, which are known to be particularly aggressive. Researchers are already planning a larger study to see if these results hold up, and the need for replication
Is key, because early results, even when they look this good, might not apply everywhere. A larger trial with more patients and longer follow-up will tell us if the survival rate stands and if there are late side effects. Plus, we need to know if this protocol is actually less toxic and more affordable than what's currently used.
Cost is a real issue. Olaparib isn't cheap. In the UK, it's available through the NHS, but that's not the case everywhere. And identifying the right patients means genetic testing, which isn't routine in every health system. How quickly could this reach people in countries with fewer resources?
It depends on regulatory approvals, drug pricing, and whether clinics have the right setup for both timing and genetic testing. In many places, the infrastructure just isn't there, especially where healthcare budgets are tight. So even though these results are promising, making them widely accessible is another challenge entirely.
Another thing, the protocol worked for BRCA1 and BRCA2 breast cancers, but we don't know if it's safe or effective for other types. Could combining olaparib and chemotherapy help more patients, or might it create new problems?
In this trial, the schedule didn't make side effects worse for these patients, but using it more broadly, especially for cancers without BRCA mutations, needs more research. International teamwork will be important, both to study the approach and to actually use it in practice.
It's not just treatment that's moving forward. Cambridge researchers also ran the BRAID trial, testing better screening for women with dense breasts who had clear mammograms. Adding contrast mammography, or abbreviated MRI, could detect 3,500 more cancers each year in the UK and potentially save 700 extra lives annually.
So, we're seeing advances in both detection and treatment. The main point, targeted research is lifting survival rates and opening up new options. But the big question is still how to make these gains available to everyone, everywhere.
As always, we'll be tracking the science as it moves from the lab into everyday care.
Thanks for joining us as we unpacked what might be a turning point in breast cancer treatment. From this survival milestone to better screening, these are advances that matter for real people.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.